And all right, one more order of business. UFC 306. We got news this week. It is headlined Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili, Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko, Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez. It is UFC Noche. It is taking place at the Sphere in Las Vegas. It could end up being, even with UFC 300 and potentially the return of Conor McGregor, this could be the biggest card of the entire year. And Sean O'Malley gets the headliner, right, Call?
No, it's absolutely. Oh, yeah, it's incredible. Sean O'Malley. And hey, Merab getting that opportunity opposite him. I got to tell you, this is going to be one of the most pleasing experiences visually that has ever happened in production and promotion. And that is Dana White's promise, who has never fibbed to us. And I'm only saying that because I don't think that Dana meant for this to be this big. When he came out and said, we are never going back, when he said that, I mean, this made this the Olympics ×5, where everybody started coming and begging, can I get on the card? And that card is loaded.
It is. And internally, I'm hearing from all sorts of people that this is like, we can never do this again. This is going to be unbelievable, but never again when we do this much prep work.
I'm wondering, like, what makes it so difficult? Like, how's it so difficult? There's like all these millions of dollars to make this happen. It's got to be magical.
It's going to be magical, but the fight at the top is going to be magic as well. I mean, Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili is a fascinating clash of styles. I don't know that you're going to find a bigger clash of styles, but if you look and you dig, you can see opportunities for both of them to get the better of each other, and that's what I love in a good fight.
Oh, that's going to be such a polarizing fight. There are going to be people who feel very strongly on both sides of that. And of course, you've got a great co-main event, Grasso versus Valentina. Such an important fight for just women's MMA in general. Like, this trilogy just sets the tone for so much that's going to move forward. What stands out to you about stylistically the third time we're going to see this fight?
I mean, just how closely, I mean, the parity between these two, like we saw last time, they are neck and neck in every area of this, of fighting. I think one of them is going to have to find a new trick up their sleeve. They're going to have to add a tool to the toolbox, or we're going to see another fight that is just razor thin, and I flip a coin.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, for me, it's the striking of Grasso. I mean, there was a time when you saw Shevchenko and thought that she was the best female striker around. I mean, the champ, Amanda Nunes, had to shoot on her. Grasso goes out there, drops her, has Valentina Shevchenko shooting on her. So to me, I'm like, it's hard for me to see a world where Alexa Grasso is a better striker, but she is. She is. So I'm excited for this
And
matchup.
I certainly don't question the skills of Valentina, but I do wonder where her mind is at, guys. Look, I heard Valentina wasn't doing this fight. I heard that from Valentina. She said she was only going to fight her if it was at home, and Grasso started talking about other opponents. Now, I only bring that to you because, is that information accurate? Did she think I'm not going to do this at one point? She has said that for a number of times for over a year, that, hey, I'm only going to do this on home territory. Her mind's got to be in the game. No excuses ahead of time. When an athlete does that, and as an athlete, I've done it. I'm speaking from experience. No excuses ahead of time. You got to burn your boats. And if Valentina is all the way in, okay, great, we got to fight. If she's not, she's got a problem.
This sport is so wild. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I would have said that Valentina Shevchenko's mindset is maybe the most impenetrable in the entire sport. And now Chael is talking about, does she want to be in this trilogy fight? Fascinating. And then, of course, Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez. Dean is on the record saying that we're not even going to see that fight.
Interesting call, by the way.
Chael, do you think Dean is right? And if we do see it, though, how do you think it plays out?
Well, I mean, I get Dean's point. What's going to be different? It's the same guys in the same weight class in the same city, like not for nothing, or the same rule set. There was a rumor that Brian Ortega was going to take on Charles Oliveira. I just hope that's the backup fight. If anything does happen to Lopez, I really do like the idea of Charles Oliveira getting in there. I've been late to the party on the Charles Oliveira chain. I'm just realizing how special he is, but I do want to see Ortega back. I do want to see him healthy. I want to see Lopez get his opportunity. I have good thoughts for everybody.
Yeah, just something about that whole thing for me was weird. You know, him, I mean, he took the fight on short notice. Let's say that. He did take the fight on short notice. Yeah. But he just looked bad. He looked like he didn't want to fight anymore. And I know that when fighters don't want to fight anymore, they really don't want to fight anymore. You can't push them into it. Brian Ortega. He just doesn't look like he wants to fight anymore. And for him to be taking a fight at 145 again after he had struggled to make it,
that's the part.
It just, to me, it just doesn't look good to me.
But I had all those feelings going into the Yair fight. And then he went out there and did what he does and looked phenomenal doing it. I do think that we are seeing an evolution of Brian Ortega as a person. You know, he's married now. He is, every time you hear him talk, he is talking about his faith. He didn't used to do that. You can tell he is carrying himself and he is living his life very differently. Whether that is causing him to be I don't want to say less focused, but sometimes when you change your priorities, fighting just doesn't feel the same anymore. And I don't know if that's what's happening, but last time I thought that was the case, you look pretty good.
It's tough to speculate on it, but I think the 145-pound part is key, because once you have it in your brain, you're not going to cut down to that weight anymore, and then all of a sudden you have to do it. I think that's just, it messes with you. It's got to be difficult.
I mean, just to retell you of that rumor, that's where maybe Charles would come. That would be up at 155, just for example.